Hello and welcome to ThePrint. Today, I shall speak about reforms in the armed forces. On the occasion of India's 77th Army Day, Chief of the Army Staff, General Upendra Dwivedi, highlighted Defence Minister Rajnath Singh's vision for 2025 as the year of reforms. Aligning with this initiative, the Army has identified 5 key result areas, namely jointness and integration, force restructuring, modernization and technology infusion, systems and processes, and lastly, human resource management. Also speaking on this occasion, though at a separate event, the Defence Minister stressed on the need for rapid modernization to meet all current and future challenges in a rapidly changing geopolitical landscape. The most important of the key result areas is modernization and technology infusion, as it involves capital expenditure, which is itself governed by innumerable rules and regulations. Primary among this is the Defence Acquisition Procedure 2020 DAP. The DAP 2020 is a nearly 700-page long monolith, difficult to read and even more difficult to comprehend. It superseded the DAP 2015, which itself was over 400 pages long. Acknowledging that the policy is flawed, Defence Secretary Rajesh Kumar Singh said that the DAP would undergo a complete revamp within the next 6 months to a year to address a system that has been criticized for delays and inefficiencies. Any army will always have a mix of weapon systems and platforms that range from state-of-the-art to obsolete. An optimum mix is considered to be 30% latest, 40% existing, and the last 30% nearing the end of the useful life. As and when systems keep getting added to the top of this chain, the older systems are discarded from the bottom. This ratio has also to be seen in terms of the life of the equipment and technological advancements. A major platform like a tank or artillery gun may have a life of 30 to 40 years, but a system in the field of communications or electronic warfare may require a change every 10 years or so. However, if there are little or no fresh infusions, this ratio gets skewed. In India's case, due to a long run-out and convoluted acquisition process, this ratio would perhaps be closer to 15:50:35. This prolonged acquisition process has another negative fallout. By the time a new system is inducted, it is already technologically outdated, even if the equipment itself is brand new. Time between the Defence Acquisition Council (DAC) granting an acceptance of necessity (AON) for a new platform and its eventual induction could be as long as a decade. The platform could be new, but it definitely would not be state-of-the-art by any stretch of the imagination. The need of the hour, therefore, is to compress the acquisition timelines so that a new system is inducted into service. while it is still contemporary. The AON itself is only a preliminary approval, and the procurement process involves several stages, including detailed project reports, financial approvals, and competitive bidding, wherein lies the rub. Each of these steps entails approvals and oversight at multiple levels and by different branches within the ministry itself. Each branch views each proposal strictly in accordance with the clauses laid down in the DAP with no leeway for deviations, making the process inflexible. Consequently, all AONs do not necessarily get converted to actual contracts signed and supply orders placed. For example, in December 2022, the Defence Acquisition Council approved AONs for 24 capital acquisition proposals worth rupees 84,328 crore. While this sounds good on paper, the actual conversion from AON to contract signed remains to be seen. Just the granting of the ON should not give a false sense of security or accomplishment. The proof of the pudding lies in the delivery of the system to the end user, be it the Army, Navy, or Air Force. There are recent reports that some major contracts will be signed before the close of the current financial year to include the Advanced Towed Artillery Gun System, or ATAGS. If this materializes, deliveries will commence 18 months thereafter. The time period between the grant of AON and delivery would be almost 10 years, if not more. This would be similar to the situation with the Rafale aircraft. The Ministry of Defense had cleared the acquisition of the aircraft as far back as 2012, the AON for which had been granted much earlier. However, the deal got mired in controversy, and after many ups and downs, an intergovernmental agreement, IGA, was signed in 2015 for the procurement of 36 aircraft against the projected requirement of 126 multi-role fighter aircraft. This IGA, in effect, bypassed the DAP. The contract was finally signed in 2016, with the first of the Rafale aircraft flying into Indian skies only in 2020 during the height of the COVID lockdown. From grant of AON in 2007 to delivery in 2020, it took 13 long years. If this is indeed the year of reforms, what's needed to be reformed first and foremost is the acquisition process. Not only does the process have to be made simpler, but much greater powers need to be delegated to the service headquarters to undertake procurements at a faster pace without oversight at multiple levels, as was the case when emergency procurement powers were delegated to the services. Even after scrupulously following all formalities, contracts were signed and deliveries ensured within 24 months. Ultimately, the product must take priority over the process. This is General Naravane for ThePrint.